Hello, everybody. So I'm here with the of the next page of the lesson 0 hour. So, as in the previous pages, we have seen the curiosity of a little boy, that is Bobby. His father, John Kendall, he is a scientist in the Buffalo Flat, and now the rocket is all ready to take off. Now he is hiding over and waiting for the rocket to be launched and go with the father. The countdown has begun. And what happens next? Was he successful in going up? So let's see. At first, thinking about it, he had been scared, but after he realized how proud his parents would be, he had made up his mind. So he was just thinking about the appreciations and the feeling of the proudness of parents after knowing that had went out for a moon with his father. Taking a deep breath, he opened the grating and got out. So he just opened up that metal frame and then he is just out of it. He was only 4 steps to open port of the rocket. Port, it is nothing but the left side of the rocket or spacecraft when seen from the front. So he's very closer to the rocket now, and he has just opened up to the port, that is the left hand side of the rocket, where it can be seen from the front. And he just made an attempt. There, a little ramp they had used to roll things in a Bobby's feet touched it lightly as he jumped into the ship. So what he made is he just took a jump into the rocket, and finally he is inside. He found himself in some kind of storeroom. So he was feeling it was some kind of storeroom. The rocket inside, it's a kind of storeroom, it seems. It would be a good place to hide, all right. So he's just thinking out it would be a better place to hide. It was full of aluminium barrels, all the same size. So everything was as the same. It was full with aluminium barrels. He found a space between 2 rows and sat down and got his breath back. So he was just sitting down over there, a place of very little place to get settled down. And then he found a space in 2 rows and sat down and got his breath back, so that he is safe and he is just breathing back again with full of confidence that he might be going to the moon. He was very quiet around him, scary quiet, but he set his lip firmly. Though he's a little boy, yes, usually the little fellows will be afraid of the darkness and even the silence, which creating a very scary kind of situation over there. And he catch hold of his lips very firmly, very tightly. He was going to the moon with father, so he was well versed and very well confident enough, and he was quite happy by thinking that he was going with his father to the moon. John Kendall was a little late that night. He greeted his wife and said, "Well, Myra, did you see the big sky rocket?" Just wanted to introduce the lunar craft. His family, and Myra is the mother of Bobby and the wife of John Kendall. So at that night, he was a little bit late enough, and he greeted his wife, and he was asking that, "Did you see that big sky rocket?" How could I miss it, dear? Your supper is in the oven. So she said, "Yes, I have seen it, and how could I miss it?" So she's making it ready for dinner. Supper, it's nothing but a dinner. John lay back in his easy chair and closed his eyes. So he's just sitting and relaxing onto the easy chair by closing his eyes. We would hope to stage a little ceremony at the launching, but Washington said no. Washington said, "Simply light the fuse and fire the thing." So everything has to be taken with the government of the particular country, the permission of the particular country. But the government of Washington, they said no for the ceremony, and they said simply just light it up and fire the thing, that's the rocket, into the moon. So is it still a big secret? So it is not a big secret at all. So he did not keep it as of a secret, because he is revealing everything to his wife now. And no, not even between you and me at least. We fired an explosion rocket at the moon. So he just revealed the things to his wife. It's not a man carrying the rocket, but it is a bomb, that is an explosion rocket to the moon. It will hit and about an hour, and the telescope will show a big purple spot. Explosion explosives go off and throw dye all over the place. So it's a kind of an explosion rocket where it goes to the moon, but within an before reaching out an hour before, it will just go and the telescope will capture, and the purple spot will be visible after the blast. So this is what the secret of the rocket is all about, and this is just sharing out by father to his wife. So and then I see lots of fun, no doubt, but what's happened? What's the purpose? 4th of July on the moon. So mother is just telling out, that is Myra is telling out that it's lots of fun. But what's the purpose of 4th of the night itself? The rocket has to be gone for the moon. Oh no, if the experiment is success, the next rocket will be carrying men instead of bomb. So he just clarified the doubt of Myra that this is just a kind of an experimental rocket. So if it is successful, the next rocket will be man carrying. And Myra went to the kitchen to see about the supper. So as she has kept the supper, that is dinner, into the oven. So then she went to see the dinner, and then John called, "Where's Bobby?" In bed, I suppose. So he just asked for his son, so that they just assumed that he might be in the bed. John moved toward the bedroom. Maybe he was still awake. Bobby rolled over, his eyes popped open. "Dad, I thought you went." John Kendall sat down on the edge of the bed and tousled his son's ear. "No, son, it's the old terra firma for me. Did you see the rocket blast?" So, yes, of course, he was in the bedroom, and he was already asleep. And before having a supper, he just went to the room of Bobby, sitting at the edge of the bed. He was tousling his son's hair, in the sense to rub off, just rustle off his fingers to his son's ears. And then he's asked, "Dad, did you go to moon? And how are you here? You are about to go to moon." So he said, "No, it's a kind of a terra forma, and then it's a kind of an rocket blast." So that was clarified by John Kendall over there. So this is up to page 121. So let me move on to the the last page of the lesson here. So let me share up a page for you people, and hope you are all revising the things. And the next page goes like this, with full of courage and full of enthusiasm. Bobby was waiting to go with his father. As you can see in the picture over there, Bobby is laying asleep. Laying on the bed, and then dad is over there and little bit turned and up. And it was really something. It went to the moon. Did not it? So it's by this what we have to understand, that it's a kind of a dream for Bobby that he would be visiting to the moon with his father. But in reality, it's a kind of an explosive, that is explosion rocket, which will be exploded onto the moon before an hour it's reaching. That's right. Separate from the children. So it's just not cannot be done. "How's your moon rocket coming along, son?" So he was quite interested, and he don't want to disappoint his son also. So he just wanted to divert from those disappointed moment to his reality. And he was asking that Bobby, how was his own moon rocket which was coming along. You can think about, it's a kind of a toy rocket too. Then, "Pretty good, Dad. As long as you did not go, I'm glad I did not go either." So, as you have not gone, so I'm also glad either that I too have not gone. He has a purpose behind it. So, what was it? "You are planning to make the trip to," yes, a kind of a trip to where? To the moon. So, he just gives you out a very genuine reason for not going over there. What is it? "I got into the rocket," and he very well agreed that he just went inside the rocket. and was all set, but I did not go, and I got to think about mom, how one of us should stay and take care of her in case anything happened. So all he wanted that, and he was just telling to dad that everything happens for good, that if something happens to him, if dad stays out of the rocket and he stays in the earth itself, he can take care of mom. If both were there in the rocket, if something had happened, an accident or a bad incident, we would die and mother would be left alone. So this is what the smart thinking he has thought about, and that is what he has shared very straightforward to his father. And a smart thinking son, so for his smart thinking, father appreciated. Now you get to sleep, now you get to sleep. So father suggested to go to the sleep. I will have a little time tomorrow, so I will be free tomorrow, and then we will play some ball. So in the sense, he just assured that tomorrow I'll be having little time, and we will play along with along, then we will have fun. So he has just assured him that he will be helping out and playing out with Bobby, so that he might feel good. And then John Kendall smiled as he left the bedroom. So he just left the bedroom with a little smile. Children were wonderful. Give them a few old boats and steering wheel, and they could build a ship to fly to the moon. What a wonderful dream would they live in. So this was a kind of a dream which was dreamt by Bobby over there. And give them a few old boats and steering wheels. So it's a kind of a trigger and a kind of a wheel which has been gone into the mind of a Bobby with very enthusiastically. And then he would have built up a ship, and he has already built up a new thing and a toy kind of a rocket ship over there. So this shows a real steering and a capacity of a children, where they have all kinds of knowledge and the techniques, where they will be having a bright future. So it was a kind of a wonderful dream over there. Too bad that they had to grow out of it. So as on to the reality, as we all know that the children, they will be dreaming up the wonderful things, that they may go to the moon, they may go to the wonder island, and wherever they are just willing to. But unfortunately, in reality, when they grow up, all these things will be just cutting off. So this is up to the lesson 0 hour. It's nothing but a countdown of a rocket over there. So let's just revise over the chapter, and I'll be meeting you up in all the next chapter. So till by then, happy learning. Hope you all enjoyed the lesson. So please revise it and go through it. Happy learning.